Welcome back to the Crypto Ball channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now, Bitcoin is running into this critical line of resistance, getting closer towards a major breakout. But in the short term, Bitcoin is now flashing an overbought signal that we need to pay attention to, while the price of Chainlink is now attempting a breakout from this massive bullish pattern, while Solana is already breaking out above key resistance, playing out this bullish divergence, while the price of XRP is now breaking out towards new all-time highs. So later in the video, I'll be sharing my price targets for all of these altcoins, so definitely watch to the end. First of all, just before we take a look at the Bitcoin charts today, we need to talk about the Bitcoin news today, because obviously yesterday we saw that new CPI inflation rate number come in at 2.9%, which was the expected outcome. So that didn't necessarily have a major impact on markets, as I covered yesterday. But over the last one day, we got in the numbers for the new Bitcoin ETF flows for Wednesday, and we did end up seeing a massive net inflow on Wednesday of around 755 million US dollars. And so obviously this is more than making up for the two outflows that we saw on Monday and Tuesday respectively. We saw around 284 million outflowing on Monday and around 210 million flowing out on Tuesday. But then once again on Wednesday, we saw 755 million coming back into the Bitcoin ETFs just on Wednesday. So this is some good news, causing some buying pressure from the Bitcoin ETFs. And if we're taking a look at the Bitcoin charts today, of course, on this weekly time frame right here, technically we can still remain within a larger bull market. We're still playing out these bull market signals right here, especially this signal right here. Obviously this is still currently playing out, because the last couple of times this has played out, it's basically played out for roughly around 1 year approximately before the next significant drawdown. But during these larger bull markets or bull runs, we can see short-term dumps and short-term corrections along the way, so just keep that in mind. And if we're taking a look at this weekly Bitcoin chart right here, technically speaking, we're still seeing a lack of bullish momentum on the larger time frames here in the weekly Bitcoin MACD, but this is still looking very similar to what we saw 1 year ago. First of all, around October 2023, we saw a bullish crossover just like October 2024, seeing a bullish crossover in this indicator, and then we saw a huge bullish move over the next few months or so up until early to mid-December, and then we started to see a slowdown both in 2023 and 2024 at the exact same time of the year. And then moving into the new year, so the start of 2024, just like the start of this year, we were seeing a lack in momentum, a lot of choppy sideways price action, exactly like what we saw 1 year ago. But then it was near the end of January and starting February, we finally started that next significant move in the price of Bitcoin. That's what happened last time, and this is what I've been saying basically every day over the last 1 month or so. And so far, it has been playing out very well in the form of choppy sideways price action over the last 1 month, exactly as expected. But if this continues to repeat history, potentially at some point in the next couple of weeks or so, 1 to 2 weeks maybe, we might start getting ready for that next significant move in the price of Bitcoin. And if we're taking a look at this 4-day Bitcoin chart, this is still sitting in the green, the super trend indicator still in the green, indicating a larger bull market. And if we're taking a look at this weekly Bitcoin chart, technically speaking, this bearish divergence is still currently active on the weekly time frame. But if we see a breakout above this previous high and a new candle close on the weekly time frames above around 104 to 105,000, then in that case, that would temporarily invalidate this bearish divergence, because it would be creating a new higher high. But if the RSI is still sitting in lower highs, we would potentially just have to reconfirm a new bearish divergence with a new higher high in the price and a new lower high in the RSI, but we would have to reconfirm that bearish divergence. It wouldn't be confirmed straight away. But while the price of Bitcoin is still trading below around 105,000, technically speaking, this bearish divergence for now is still currently active on the weekly time frame. And of course, we should still expect a decent amount of resistance at close to 102,000 based on this 1618 Fibonacci extension level acting as resistance at around 102K. And so overall, not a lot has changed over the last 1 day on the larger time frames. In fact, things are still pretty much perfectly playing out, as I've been saying over the last 1 month or so. I've been saying expect a lot of choppy sideways price action until the second half of January, and then in the second half of January, get ready for that next significant move very soon. And just before getting into some other very important Bitcoin charts today, first, if you want to get set up ready to go to take these trading opportunities to trade any of these moves in the price of any crypto, personally, I take a lot of my trades over on BitUnex, so I'll make sure to leave a link to BitUnex below this video in the description and in the pinned comment. And if you use that link, it'll take you to this page right here where you can claim exclusive rewards, but only using that link below this video. So if you simply just click that link to make your account and then deposit just $100, you get a $20 bonus, or if you deposit $1,000, you get a $100 bonus straight into your new account if you use that link. Or if you have an existing account, but only if you made your account using one of my links and simply just by trading crypto, if you increase your trading volume, you get these exclusive rewards, as you can see right here, up to an iPhone 16 Pro Max. So basically a bunch of free prizes here just by trading crypto using the link below this video. And so if you're going to be trading crypto anyway, you might as well check this out. Once again, first link below this video. And also, in case you're wondering, BitUnex is a no KYC exchange, which means you can access it from basically any country in the world without needing any KYC. But as always, check your local regulations when it comes to trading crypto. And for whatever reason, if you don't want BitUnex, there is also Bybit as another option out there, another exchange that I also trade on. So I will also make sure to leave a link to Bybit below this video in the description and in the pinned comment. But with that being said, taking a look at this Bitcoin chart on the daily time frame, and right now we have this clear descending line of resistance with 3 touch points so far, sitting at approximately 100.6k, so just above $100,000. And coinciding with this descending line of resistance in the price, we also have a major descending line of resistance in the daily Bitcoin RSI with multiple major touch points, as we can see. So this is definitely something significant to pay attention to, because while this is happening, essentially the price is just cooling off, and these price oscillators, these indicators like the RSI, are cooling off. They're resetting from previously overbought territories, which is essentially giving us more room to the upside when we eventually start that next major move. Once we can see a breakout above these points of resistance, potentially we could see a significant move towards the upside, because we've spent actually the last couple of months or so, 1 to 2 months, resetting these indicators. But this pattern right here is known as a descending triangle pattern, which is statistically a bearish pattern, which simply means it's more common to see a breakdown than a breakout towards the upside. But of course, we can still see a breakout towards the upside from a descending triangle pattern. It's just usually that is the less likely scenario. But of course, obviously, right now we are in a 4-year Bitcoin halving cycle. We're still technically in more of a bull market on the larger time frames, as shown by this chart and this chart right here. And of course, this chart potentially still repeating history. And so ultimately, either way, we just have to wait for confirmation. As always, when it comes to any of these patterns like this, we have to wait for a confirmed break of one of these levels, either candle closes above resistance or below support. So as I just mentioned, this resistance is sitting at around 100,500, give or take, and this line of support is sitting at around 92,500 approximately. And if we're looking at a technical price target, if we can simply just break out above this resistance, and especially if we could break out above this previous high sitting at around 102,500, so if we can break out above 102 to 103k, then in that case, that would be extra confirmation confirming a breakout towards the upside. But looking at the technical price target for this triangle pattern, if we can first at least see a daily candle close above around 100.6k, that would set up a price target at around 116,000 approximately. So from that breakout to that price target, that's possibly around a 15% move towards the upside with no leverage, or for example, with a 10x leverage long position, a 150% profit. And so obviously this is a possible trading opportunity that could be coming up very, very soon. But remember, this only comes into play if we first see a confirmed breakout with at least a daily candle close above this line of resistance that I just mentioned earlier. And if we're taking a look at this daily time frame right here, we also have this area of resistance in between 102,000 to 103,000, mainly based on these highs right here. And we also have this resistance based around the all-time high sitting at approximately 106 to 107,000. And as for short-term support, we could find a bit of support right here at around 98 to 99,000, give or take, based on previous resistance now flipping into new support. But of course, we also have this significant area of support down here at around 92 to 93,000. And if we're zooming further into the short term, looking at the 4-hour time frame, obviously over the last few days, we perfectly played out this oversold signal, which I talked about when the price was all the way back down here, I said we're basically entering into oversold territories, which means we could see a bit of a relief or a bounce in the short term very, very soon. And of course, we very much saw a bounce towards the upside, but obviously due to the fact that we saw a significant bounce towards the upside very, very quickly, that quickly moved the RSI all the way up towards overbought territories, which is of course the opposite of an oversold signal. So it essentially means, at least in the imminent short term, as in talking about the coming hours or the coming days, we're starting to basically run out of room towards the upside, but not necessarily the end of the overall bullish move here. So for example, we might see a slight little cool off like this and then continue the bullish move later on after we reset the RSI a little bit. And already over the last few hours, we have reset the RSI a little bit, giving us some more room towards the upside. But essentially, the more that we could see a little bit more of a cool off and reset the RSI further, the more room towards the upside that we can see later on. So keep that in mind. If, for example, we chop around sideways or see a slight little pullback, that's actually very healthy to see. That's not a bad thing. That's healthy to see to create more of a sustainable bullish movement. And if we're taking a look at the Bitcoin liquidation heat map, obviously over the last one day, we exactly took out that area of liquidity that I talked about in my last video just yesterday. I said we had a lot of liquidity, or at least the most amount of liquidity here in the short term was sitting at around 98 to 99,000, give or take, right around there. And I said in my last video, usually the price of Bitcoin goes towards where there's a lot of liquidity, and that's exactly what we saw as expected. And so now that that area of liquidity has already been taken out, what should we watch out for right now? And well, right now we have a lot of liquidity starting to build in between around 100.9k to 102k. So really in between around 101k to 102k, we have a decent amount of liquidity starting to build there. And as for liquidity to the downside, we have a small amount at around 96,500 and another small amount at around 95.1k and also at around 94.2k. But overall, at least in the short term for the price of Bitcoin, we do have more liquidity towards the upside than what we have towards the downside, at least in the immediate short term, which means it is quite likely the price could continue higher. Potentially after a slight little cool off once again, we could continue higher as a likely scenario here in the short term. And if we're taking a quick look at Ethereum on the 3-day time frame, right now Ethereum is continuing the bounce from this level of support at close to 3.2k. So of course we still have support right there at close to 3.2k, but overall not a lot has changed over the last 1 day on this 3-day time frame. So taking a look at this daily time frame right here, and as we've continued this short-term bounce, we've run straight into this area of resistance sitting in between around 34.30 to 35.60, and so far as of recording this video, the price is starting to struggle and actually see a slight rejection from that area of resistance. So as always, expect the price to struggle around key resistance. And so until the price of ETH can eventually break out back above around 35.60, or of course if we break below this support, either way, as of right now, we're in a bit of a sideways price range, chopping around sideways between support and resistance. So of course we have that area of resistance that I just mentioned. We also have this area of support sitting in between around 3,000 to 3.1k, and also that level of support at pretty much just above 3.2k on this 3-day time frame. And the next resistance to the upside, if we were to see a breakout above around 35.60, we should find a small amount of resistance at close to 3.7k based on this high and also previous resistance at previous highs. And we also have a lot of resistance right here in between around 3.9k to 4.1k. But overall, not a lot has changed for Ethereum over the last 1 day. So getting straight into the price of Chainlink on the daily time frame, and right now, at least as of recording this video, the price of Chainlink is finally attempting a breakout from this bullish falling wedge pattern, because the price as of recording this video is trading above this line of resistance, which by the way is sitting at around just above $22. But right now, this possible breakout from the falling wedge still needs to be confirmed with at least a daily candle close above this resistance, so above around $22.20 approximately. And we also have more resistance in this price range in between around $24.50 to $25.50 that we cannot ignore. And so, for example, if we actually confirm this breakout here from the falling wedge, of course, that would activate a bullish price target at the top of the wedge, sitting at around $29.30 to $29.40. So just above $29 as a price target right now, if we first activate the price target with a confirmed breakout above this line of resistance. But even in that case, we still have this resistance where the price could also struggle in that area, once again, in between $24.50 to $25.50. And as for support, if we confirm the breakout above the descending line of resistance right here, then technically that would likely flip into new support. And we also have support in this area in between around $19.40 to $20.40 approximately. And with that being said, if we're taking a look at the price of Solana on the 8-hour time frame, right now Solana, at least in the short term, is starting to massively break out towards the upside, obviously playing out this bullish divergence very, very nicely here in the short term. And obviously I've been talking about this bullish divergence since all the way back down here when the price was at around $180, give or take. And I said all the way back down there that this bullish divergence is essentially the exact opposite to this bearish divergence. So I said, do not expect any more bearish price action or bearish momentum here in the short term, and instead expect either at the very least choppy sideways price action, but most likely a bullish relief. And of course, we've very much seen a bullish relief from this bullish divergence, which is one of the most common outcomes from a bullish divergence. And not only are we just seeing a slight bullish relief from this bullish divergence, we're also now breaking out above key resistance, because we had a lot of resistance previously in this price range sitting in between $200 to $205. But right now, as I'm recording this video, the price is massively breaking out above that resistance, heading towards the next short-term resistance based on these highs right here, sitting in between around $220 to $223. But if we can finally see a breakout back above around $223, then in that case, the next resistance to watch out for would be sitting at around $232, and above that, we have significant resistance at $246. But overall, with this bullish divergence playing out and the possibility of a very large double bottom for Solana, technically speaking, at least in the short term, things are currently looking more bullish than bearish. We just have to be aware of things like resistance and also a possible overbought signal that could come soon for Solana on the 8-hour time frame, but it's not there just yet. And if we're taking a look at the price of XRP on the weekly time frame, because right now XRP is massively breaking out towards the upside. And first of all, zooming into the short term, obviously we've already cleared all of these short-term levels of resistance. First of all, a few days ago, or close to a week ago now, give or take, right back down here, I said the moment we broke out from this descending parallel channel above around $2.43, give or take, I said at that point right there, we are finally flipping much more bullish again. I said from that point, expect much more bullish price action. And of course, since that point, we've seen much more bullish price action exactly as expected. And so obviously, if you looked at any of these points of resistance, whether it was this point at the descending parallel channel or any of these other points of resistance as possible long position entry points. So once we confirmed the breakout above one of these points of resistance, if you simply accumulated a long position or added to a long position, obviously right now you should be doing very, very well. But if we're zooming back out to that weekly time frame to look at price targets for the price of XRP, first of all, as of recording this video, we're currently hitting and starting to break past that $3.30 level. And if you remember in my last video just yesterday, I said if we break out above $3, expect a very quick move to $3.30. And that's exactly what's happened over the last one day, exactly as expected. But now that we're starting to hit that $3.30 level as of recording this video and possibly start to break past $3.30, of course, we're now entering into new record all-time highs for the price of XRP. So we can't really look at previous price action to determine points of resistance or price targets, but instead we can take a look at Fibonacci extension levels. And the next significant Fibonacci extension level beyond $3, because of course, close to $3 previously, that was significant resistance close to a month ago. But right now, the next significant Fibonacci extension level is this 2618 Fibonacci extension level, sitting at around $4.68, so close to $4.70 as the next major price target. And so if we're measuring out that move from where we are right now at close to $3.30 as of recording this video to that price target at close to $4.70, that's more than a 40% pump. And with the price of XRP during a bullish market, that move could possibly happen very, very quickly, because most of the cryptos out there don't often move in straight lines. Oftentimes we see slight little pullbacks along the way during bullish moves, but when XRP really gets going during a bull market, it really gets going. It actually goes vertical quite often during the bull markets, as we can see time and time again. So just keep in mind, these moves in the price of XRP can happen very quickly. I'm talking overnight, we can pump massive moves. And so of course, if you time it right with these sort of trading opportunities, you can make some very quick money in crypto and very massive profits in crypto, because these are not small moves in the price of XRP. Obviously, just back here in November, XRP was trading at 50 cents. Right now, we're well above $3 in just a couple of months. And so if you're new to all of this, as always, not financial advice, but if you're new to all of this and you're wondering whether you should buy or sell XRP right now, of course, based on what we're doing right now, I would not necessarily go all in at the current price, considering we've already just seen a decent pump, but I would definitely not bet against the price of XRP right now, because if you're trying to short XRP in the current process that XRP is in right now, that is very dangerous, trying to short XRP right now. And so personally, let's just say if I was holding XRP, I would just simply continue to hold XRP, or if I wanted some exposure, let's just say if I didn't hold any XRP, I'd maybe just accumulate a small amount, not go very heavy. But as always, not financial advice. I'm just showing what I'll be doing based on those different situations and based on what the price of XRP is doing right now. And once again, if you want to take any of these trading opportunities in the price of any crypto, check out those links below this video to those exchanges if you want to claim those extra bonuses. And if you want to actually know how to trade crypto, no matter if the price is bullish, bearish, or chopping around sideways, you can profit from all of that price action by watching these videos popping up right here on your screen. The video in the top left shows you how you can profit from bullish or bearish price action using long positions or short positions, and the video in the bottom left shows you how you can easily profit from choppy sideways price action. But anyway, that is everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.